Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to assignment conduct classes for the subject teaching and learning, teaching and assessment mentoring, B.Ed-TMB22. My name is Mr. Teddy Shikukuma, and I will take you through this presentation. In any case, first of all, I would like us to start with the action verbs. The action verbs that I'm referring to are to be found at the beginning of your modules. So the action verbs help you to formulate or to answer the question based on what is required from you. You should understand the meanings, the brief meanings of the action verbs, because this will help you not to go astray by giving what is not asked because of the misunderstanding of the action verbs. Therefore, it's very, very important, first of all, for us to look at the action verbs, have a better understanding of each, then we'll be able to answer the questions in the assignments. Let's look at the first one, analyze. If the question is requiring you to analyze or is asking you to analyze, what you are doing, you are simply examining information in detail. And should the question say perhaps calculate, then you have to give a numerical answer from the given figures. It might not be much of these questions in the assignment because it has nothing to do with calculations because it's a content subject. But one has to understand, because you never know what to expect. You should understand all the verbs. As I said at the beginning, these verbs that I'm referring to are to be found at the very beginning of your module, and you need to understand them for you to tackle any question that might come your way. Comment. What are you doing? Should you be asked to comment in a question in an assignment, you must be able to discuss briefly by giving positive as well as negative points. So you are commenting in that way. Compare. Draw a conclusion about similarities and differences. So you are making comparisons, and your comparisons should not leave out the differences or the similarities. So that's the focus. We continue with the action verbs. Contrast. If you are required to contrast, your focus is only one. Look only for similarities. And when you are asked to criticize, what are you doing? You give reasonable judgment after weighing facts carefully. You look at the facts that are presented before you, and then what you are doing, you give the reasonable judgment. So that's what we mean by saying criticize. And then the verb or the action verb, deduce. This one, you are simply using the information provided in order to reach to the conclusion. And define. What are you doing when you are defining? And it is a very, very popular verb, action verb, that is ever there, be it in an assignment or an examination. The verb define must be there. Then you must understand it into perspective. What are you doing? You give the precise, the exact meaning, brief meaning and features. You don't have to write a lot, you don't have to beat around the bush, because what you are doing, you are simply giving the definition of that particular word or verb. Demonstrate. Show by examples. If you are demonstrating, you should show by examples. Describe. You provide detailed features for both and for against. Determine. If you are determining, you are simply using the provided information in order to work out the answer. While distinguish. This is also one of the popular verbs that should be present in one of your assignments. So what you are doing, you describe two phenomena, and then you have to give the difference of the two, because you are given two phenomena to distinguish. Let's say, for example, formal and informal education also. So you have to make sure that you describe the two phenomena, and then you have to give the difference of the two. Estimate, give the impact of something. Estimate, you have to give the impact of something. Evaluate, you must determine the value of something as per set criteria. The value, determine the value, very, very important, value of something as per the criteria that are set, that are presented before you. Explain, this is also a must. It should appear in your assignment and you must deal with it. So therefore you need a better and clear understanding of what does it mean when the word explain is mentioned. You describe by indicating relationships between things. Indicating relationships between things. That's what it means by explain. You are describing. Find, simply calculate, measure, or determine. The other verb, identify. This is also popular and it's very, very simple, because what you are going to do, you are going to recognize and name. As simple as that. Illustrate, describe with examples. If you are to illustrate, then you have to describe with examples. Interpret. If you are interpreting something, so what you are doing is you describe something, explain the meaning of graphic information. We continue with action verbs. Identify, or to examine means to identify detailed features of something. Examine means identifying detailed features of something. List, when you are listing, so this is straightforward. It's just the presentation of facts just by giving like that, and maybe the list of facts, the list of names, the list of objects, etc., whatever is relevant. Outline, give an overview and indicate the main features. So you are doing two in one here, because you are giving an overview and you are indicating the main features in this instance. So that's what it means by outline. Summarize. What are you doing? Summarize, you only focus on the main ideas without beating around the bush. No examples should be provided in this instance. Ladies and gentlemen, now we are moving into details of the presentation of this module, assessment and mentoring. As I have indicated earlier, we look at, for you to answer the question, you have to look at the action verb. Like here in the first instance here, define, definition. You are giving the definition of the term action research. What does it mean? How do you understand that? I would like to advise that you should not limit yourself to the modules that are given to you. If you are preparing to answer the assignment questions, what you have to do is to, get some other sources. If you have the modules that are given before you, there are prescribed books that you need to consult. We have internet, very popular these days. So you should expand that, and then you have a better and wider understanding now, because you are not only limiting yourself to one source of information, but we have to expand and get that knowledge of different sources. Then you are having a bowl full of salad, because you have different variety of sources that you have consulted in order to reach to the conclusion, to better understanding. So the purpose is to have a better understanding, because in most cases some people want to do copying and pasting, and you graduate and you cannot apply that in day-to-day lives or in the job that you are going to get, because what you did, you were just doing it simply because you wanted to graduate. But once you consult some other many sources, you have a wider understanding, then you know what you are talking about. Outline the stages of evaluation cycle. We have an evaluation cycle in your book, and there are different stages. You should be able to understand all these stages, from the first stage up to the last one. I'm talking about this evaluation cycle that is in your book. There are stages. you must understand each stage and where to place it on a cycle. You must also be able to outline, this one is also becoming one of the popular verbs, outline elements of designing and evaluating of mentor program. You know, you have a program of mentoring at school. You should just not leave it like that and let it go. But first of all, it must be designed. And then the program must also be evaluated. What are the elements that you can utilize, that you can employ in order to design and evaluate the mentor program that is before you at your school? You are the school principal, you have a mentoring program. It must be evaluated. After designing it, it must be evaluated. There must be a designing. What are the elements that you can make use of in order for you to design it? And now evaluating the progress, seeing how far it is going, whether it's going according to the plan, then it must be evaluated. What are the elements that you can employ, that you can bring before you to make sure that mentoring program is run successfully? You must also be able to identify strategies that can be utilized in order to assist teachers in their daily teaching. You know, teachers need to be guided. They are young teachers, they are old teachers, they are senior teachers at your school as a principal, as a aspiring principal to be, head of department to be. So there must be strategies that can be used in order to support, or in order to help, in order to guide the teachers on daily basis, because teaching takes place in the classroom on daily basis. But if there are no strategies in place that are being utilized in order to help teachers to excel, it might not be effective. Teaching might not be effective. But if there is a supporting system from the principal side, from the head of department side, from the inspector side, from perhaps the directorate side, then these people are going to excel because they are being guided, they are being shown this is the way to go. But if they are absent, then possibilities are the performance of the school might go down. Teachers might also take it for granted because, okay, so what? No one is supporting me. But if there's a supporting system, if there are strategies that are designed in order to help or in order to facilitate the day-to-day teaching at school, then the school is going to emerge victorious and the performance will be enhanced from both sides. Explain the activities that build up the performance management. What are those activities? Because performance management is core when it comes to a certain school. So, but they should be, they should be built up for the performance management to prosper. So you should be able to explain the activities that build up the performance management. You must also be able to discuss the requirements of induction program. That's very, very important. As I have said it earlier, that teachers need to be inducted. If a teacher comes to a school and there is no induction in place where they can be guided and where they can find what is the culture of the school, being taken through the syllabus, even just the environment at school. So here we are talking about the requirements of induction workshop. You must be able to discuss it as a student of this program. Discuss how a school benefits from mentoring for both direct and indirect ways. So in a way, if the teachers or the staff members are being mentored, there must be benefits that are involved. What is the school benefiting in a way? Be it direct benefits or indirect benefit. You can discuss about it. Explain how mentoring affects action research. Mentoring, how does it affect the action research? You must also be able to explain, the word explain and the verb explain is also playing a major role here. So it's one of those verbs that we cannot abandon when we are formulating the assignments. You must be able to explain how to deal with resistance to performance management by novice teachers. Resistance. When there is resistance in any organization, it's really a problem, but it can be eliminated. It can be reduced if it cannot be eliminated. So therefore, resistance is something that, you should always plan, being proactive, plan in advance that, okay, of course, if I introduce this as a head of the school, I might experience resistance from the staff members. Now, how to deal with this resistance? So you need to be proactive and make sure that you plan in advance, because you can expect anything of this nature. Resistance. Yeah. You must also be able to discuss how learners benefit directly from mentors and mentoring itself. Not only teachers that are being mentored, now the learners, how do they benefit both directly from mentors and mentoring as a system, as a process itself? So you must be able to talk about this benefit directly. Ladies and gentlemen, finally we have come to the end of this presentation. What I would like to tell you is that you should prepare thoroughly for assignments. In order for you to write concrete and academically accepted assignments, you need to research. Consult different sources. Don't simply do copying and pasting and then you submit your assignment. But you need to explore different sources. Visit the library, go to the internet, read different books. There are prescribed books that are given in your modules. So you utilize those books for you to expand your knowledge, and do not submit substandard assignments. So, but if you research, you'll be able to give richly well-researched and well-articulated assignments. So you must therefore revise all the units, and once more you must go back to the verbs that we have spoken about, that we have presented to you at the beginning of your modules. There are those verbs. Just go back before you attempt any question. Go back to the verbs and see, okay, if it says explain, what is requested? What is required from me? If it says explain, go to the verbs, understand the meaning once more, just to remind yourself, because I know now you have a wider understanding of these verbs, but before you attempt that question, just go back and see, okay, explain what is required of me, or describe what is that I'm going to do, or outline, etc., etc. Once more, answer what is asked. Don't answer what you want to answer. Don't answer what you think you want to answer, but answer what is asked. Utilize the experience. That's very, very important. I want you to be more practical. Application must play a major role here. Go back and to the classroom situation. That knowledge, those skills that you have acquired, you bring them back in the assignment. Utilize that knowledge. It's very important. And the mistake most people used to do, they leave questions unattended. Do not, and I repeat, ladies and gentlemen, do not leave any question unattended. Attempt all the questions. But this can only happen if you start writing your assignments on time. If you wait until the last minute, you're going to submit substandard assignments and the work is done haphazardly. Don't do it for the sake of doing it. Do it with the purpose that, yes, I'm doing this assignment, my future is here, I want to pass with flying colors, and I utilize the experience that I have acquired in doing this program when I get employment. Everyone wants to be promoted. You want to be a principal, you want to be an inspector, you want to be the deputy director, and eventually you can be a minister. Who knows? You can contact me. As I said, you should consult other sources. I've dwell much on this for just, curiosity. Have that curiosity and expand the knowledge that you have acquired. All the best of luck. Contact me on my mobiles 0811480977 or 0812531801. The best time to contact me is between 8 and 17. If I'm not picking up my phone, so please leave a text message and tell me who you are. Then I'll be able to come back to you. So you can only contact me in weekdays except weekends. And you can also drop me an email. This is also the burst. Then I will be able to respond to your email. My email address is t_shikukuma@yahoo.co.uk. Thank you very much for listening, and best of luck in your studies.